Gragas, but you have at least jungle, so you get some AP right there. I think you might have to just say, oh, okay.
We get a Kali!
Okay, that's how you get AP top.
Screw frontline, screw tanks. It's damage for days.
That is such a snowball pick, though. Both Lucian and Akali. Like, it is pure snowballing from Splyce. Elise early game to try and camp the lanes, mid and top lane. If you get early kills on Akali and Lucian, you can just take over the game completely. Fiora coming in on the other side, Trevor. So many squishy members. Oh my god, do we have an
Akali-Fiora matchup? Please, please, do tell me how you think this one's going to go.
Oh, not a matchup I see very often, I have to admit. Akali obviously is a pick we saw in the promo tournament from Kikis specifically, where the laning phase is a lot of focus on just like trying pure farm, but then your actual all-in damage gets quite high once you start getting towards the Gunblade. And Fiora obviously wants to at least get to one full item as well before she really wants to play 2 aggro. So you might have 2 top laners not looking to necessarily all-in each other very, very early, like first few levels.
Well,
but that's where the junglers will join Trevor, because Trashy is gonna just sit between mid and top lane, and he has 2 lanes where if he gets a kill to his teammate, that can just swing the entire mid game in the favor of Splyce. Because both Akali and Lucian can snowball so hard.
And of course, the alternative is also true. If either of those champions fall behind, it's so difficult to play. We just caught a glimpse there of Prolly and Jeebus walking off stage. Jeebus, the new coach for Splyce. The change that the org has made that they feel can unlock these players. We touched on it right at the beginning of the day. 2 teams that kept the same core, the same play, setting their sights on the future. And now for Splyce, this is a very exciting team composition for a team that had a great summer last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this is going to go.
I love watching the top side here. I'm concerned for the bottom side, though, of Splyce with the Twitch Braum coming in. Like, that is going to be a tough lane for them to play against the Varus. But if they can just survive and try and farm, like Braum is the kind of pick, Trevor, where a lot of ways supports describe picking Braum in these games. Is like, yeah, we don't really know what we want for support. We just want to try and, you know, farm near our tower and then get strong team fights. Well, Braum is your man. just lock in Braum then. It's really hard to kill in lane. He's hard to gank as well. So mid and top is where we're looking.
So
I'm telling you, Gunblade Akali,
terrifying.
Her damage is just so obnoxious to deal with in a 1v1 in the side lane. Because not only does she get enough damage, she gets sustain as well. And it's like, okay, I'm getting you low a little bit, but then you heal it back up and you deal more damage than I do. Which is why I guess Odamna said, you know what, I'm going to pick a champion that deals even more damage.
And so can also heal.
Now we're just going to deal a lot of damage against each other. And a little bit of healing here.
Oh, Odamna needs to be so on point of those ripostes if he can lock down Wonder.
But after this game, Trevor, here, we're going to praise one top laner, and we're going to be like, oh, that other guy, whew, that was a rough game. He did not play well, because it's 10-0, 0-10.
10-0, 0-10. That's the prediction from Deficio. Get ahead, stay ahead. We see Doran shields aplenty. Everyone's got a shield. Well, at least 5 of them do. And we'll keep our eyes on these early games. So, Deficio, you've mentioned how Trashy can unlock Wonder or Senkux. But that relies Kobe and Mickey to be able to defend themselves, fend for themselves. Where does Jankos going to go?
I mean, yeah, when you Yank is like, your best lane to gank is actually bot lane with the Thresh, with Flay and Lantern. But a lot of focus will be against the solo laners, so he might just look to try and actually counter jungle and counter gank, more than enabling early picks specifically. Funny enough, Trevor, you, Kobe, and myself, we casted Lucian Elise versus Orianna. SKT-WE.
I seem to remember that going very, very well for Team WE.
For Team WE with the Lucian and Elise, because they early ganked. Level 3, they ganked mid. And Faker was playing Orianna, baited in his own jungler. They both died. They gave double buff over to the Lucian, and Lucian took over the game. Happened to MSI just a few weeks ago. I want to see if Splyce can try and do somewhat the same. It was funny enough also Graves jungle.
It was indeed. Graves ended up arriving a little late to the party. So, Splyce, put on your LPL hat. Let's see if you can do it. Wonder going to get traded on as Odamna lunges forward. Wonder's going to keep trading back and forth. Currently, the wave is being pushed heavily towards Wonder. He's down on CS, but he'll catch up very quickly.
Yeah, he'll catch up, but it's what we mentioned again early on. You really don't want to trade too much.
Picked up by Jankos. Jankos isn't done. Red buff. He flashes forward into Trashy. Goes under the tower. Red buff tick for first blood. Oh, not done yet. Up in the top lane. That was just back and forth.
That was basically too easy for Jankos. Invading it now, chase mid.
Oh, this is no Team WE. Senkak sidesteps the hook, flashes forward, but Femivin with Jankos gets a second kill.
All right, so a lot just happened right there. First of all, great roam from Che. Let's just get that out of the way. Nice roam. Second game now where he's going off on his thresh early on. Jankos just invading in on that blue buff here, not spotted by Trashy. Finds him, steals the blue buff, instantly kills him, and it's so huge for H2K because Trashy was the man who needed to try and get the Akali going or get the Lucian going. Early killing him and taking his blue buff, and then invading again. We said this for Jankos, like, his job is invade and counter jungle. Oh, sorry, counter gank. Well, he already invaded and killed the enemy jungler, so I guess A+ on that one.
Hey, this is what happens when Prolly gets backstage and slaps Jankos around a little bit. Teaches him not to make those mistakes. All right, take a look down bottom.
That's a bot lane gang.
Man on a mission. He's coming in. Cobby's able to stealth up, but he gets revealed by Jankos. Flash away, 100 HP. Smoke screen goes down. Jankos takes 2, 3 tower shots. Down to 100 HP. Summoning heal brings him up. Cocoon locks down Che. Mickey and Trashy back away with their lives. Mickey forced a flash, and Jankos 3-0. He's got the hat-trick.
Classic Jankos game, where he just goes off in the early game, gets first blood. You know, we made fun of him for not being the first blood king last split, making sure he's reclaiming that title early on in the summer split. You couldn't ask for a better start if you are Jankos right now. Like, you get the blue, you kill the enemy jungler, you stop the enemy jungler from ganking your solo laners, and you then go mid and kill the Lucian as well, and both his summoners got used.
Exceptional
Okay,
play.
Che was here too.
Yeah, but this is team play. This is good individual performances and H2K as a team.
It's actually insane that Che managed to leave the bot lane without it being called, so that Senkuk went so aggressive anyway. Good flash from Copy at first, but when you get ganked from behind here, it's really not much you can do as a Twitch. And we said already this bot lane would struggle in 2v2, or have a hard time at least.
Yep.
Now it gets even worse.
Well, every single lane has picked up an advantage here for H2K. And they've got themselves a 1,500 gold lead by 5 minutes.
Well,
5 minutes. Jankos hasn't even spent his money yet, by the way. Still sitting on 2,200 gold. So, gold lead is in his favor. Odo.
Ooh, Odo, that was a little bit...
tried to poke down Wonder. Actually uses the riposte as well. So Wonder winning a little bit of the mind games in this one.
We have to remember level 6, Wonder gets the dashes, so he can obviously chase extremely effectively. Where Orane oftentimes wants to take the fight head on with his own ulti.
Well, the two guys that want to fight. To Fisher, Wonder was one of the carries in spring for Splyce. Very happy with that. He's played Akali on the stage before. Last year, if you remember that. Didn't go particularly well. But
I wish I could say I remembered that game specifically.
I don't think you should. Mickey got to play his Scion support, but look at how well Wonder played in the spring split. Good CSD, good kill participation as a top laner. Definitely leading from the front, and that's why Trashy's coming up to this lane to help him out. Jungle proximity, second highest. Also, almost like it was meant to be.
Oh, mid lane, Senkux again. This is very
damage.
greedy. He dives in with almost no HP. Even if the ulti's gone from Femivin, you had enough damage left for Orianna to take it down. But yes, Wonder, as you mentioned, like the win condition for Splyce in spring, it became play around top side, get Wonder fed, and then he will try and take over the game, preferably, you know, with Trashy hand in hand, and then you can actually enable Copy and Senkux in team fights later. With Akali, it's kind of the same game plan, but you do have again this Lucian mid, which is another champion you kind of have to focus around. So Splyce, after that really poor start, will suffer a bit.
And see how Splyce decide to bounce back. What does play into their favor is a little bit of Twitch roams once we get close to this mid game, if they don't fall further behind.
Yeah, And if Twitch can actually push out his lane.
Oh,
baby!
That happened. Two-man flay from Che. Kobe gonna go down in a second. Hail of Arrows comes out. Mickey's buying so much time with it.
He's actually alive!
It's Yankos that goes down instead. Mickey, you monster, saving his AD carry's life.
Oh my god, that was so close, but the Braum standing in the way. 1 for 1. So important for Splyce. Looks like another easy kill for H2K.
I thought that it was Deficio.
I heard you lying to the viewers.
That's why you're here, to back me up, Deficio. Great play from Mickey.
I don't want to be part of your lies. You're on your own, Trevor.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, Splyce, they thwart the first gank that Yankos has tried to set up all game long.
Yeah, very true. It's actually fun though, because we talked about how Yankos, the only lane he kind of really wanted to gank would be bot lane with Thresh. And because of that early start, he's actually been allowed to go down there twice now. Mickey staying hello in the mid lane. They've been dodging it, but it means Yankos again could go down for that second gank because his laners don't actually need him. If you look at the solo laners. I like this play here, Mickey and Kobe trying to go in to get down some vision. But then, they all think Kobe's dead almost at this point, but the shield from Braum is in the way and the stun lock on Yankos at the same time, so he couldn't finish Kobe either. Twitch stays alive and they get 1 for 1.
Also, Che is just really having such a good day. Yankos disappointed not to pick up his 4th kill. We jump back to top lane.
Ulti's used.
Grand Challenge traded. Wonder's already used a couple of stacks on that ulti as well. There's Wonder that's falling behind in terms of the lane right now.
Yeah, and if they manage to stay, and keep in mind the sustain from Akali will kick in pretty effective.
Oh, support though. Yankos may run into Trashy in the lane. Trashy spots him out. Wonder goes forward.
Oh, baby!
Oh, no, 1-man wins a 1v1.
Oh, I love that top lane matchup. It's been such a fun second game.
We have to watch that in slow-mo. See every little decision-making.
Oh, you can see the thing there for Wonder. He's like, yeah, I'm going to sustain some HP back. Then I'm going to see if I can chase him down long lane. I have my ulti ready. Odam just turns around and says, you know, I can take this. Procs the Vital as well. So fun to watch two of the best top laners in Europe play against each other with these two champions here.
Two of the guys that were talked about a lot last split as well. Chasing the likes of Vizicachi.
I mean, it's actually funny because Europe, we have a lot of really good top laners. Expect, of course, really proven himself. Vizicachi, the MVP of the EU LCS in spring. Odo Amne, Wonder. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone here as well, so they're now super offended.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, Shadow Dance comes down. Trashy's caught by the Shockwave. Wonder's looking for Febby. Febby's still got Flash as well as Cleanse. Senkax has joined the fight. Piercing Light goes out. He's gone forward. That's the first kill for Senkax. He's running for his life. Odo's going to look for his 3rd of the game. Not done yet. Double buffed up. Lunges forward. No Flash available to him. But H2K in him winning 1 for 2.
This is getting worse and worse for Splyce right now. 3 kills on Odo Amne's Fiora. He doesn't care about this CS difference. He's now getting all the gold through kills. Hexdrinker would be a pickup for him as well against the Akali and the Elise. Would actually be very, very impactful in a game like this. Probably get some MR from his boots at the same time.
H2K just so happy with how this game has gone. It's a 2,000 gold lead. Nuclear's been tagged up by those concussive blows. Odo wants to join for more. The box goes down. Glacial Fisher buys a little bit of time as that unbreakable shield blocks damage once again. Mickey's trying to run for his life. Riposte blocks some life as the grand challenge is issued and completed. 4th kill for Odo.
I thought it was supposed to be just a 1v1 top lane, but now Odo Amne has been in 2 fights and picked up 3 kills from them. After, of course, killing Wonder 1v1 first. 4-0 on this Fiora. She is a champion who obviously scales extremely well. We're going to see her more and more, Trevor, in this meta. Doran's shield really helped her out for the early laning phase. Give her 1 full item, she's going to be great. Give her 2 full items, she can take over the game.
All right, Spray and Pray has been used by Kobe. Chase getting shot from afar. The repel. Lantern will bring Nuclear forward. Trashy now under some pressure as Yankos and Febiven going to cut him off. Yankos going forward, collateral damage used, that tags up Trashy. His cocoon goes wide, he's split off to the side. Continues to run for his life, kill credit will be secured by Nuclear with the long range snipe.
Yankos still behind the tower here, want to try and secure that first tower for H2K. Top lane fighting again.
All right, Wonder's trying to use that shroud as best as he can.
Oh,
gonna pick up some support. Throws out the Crescent Slash and Mark of the Assassin goes down. Here comes Senkax, here comes Mickey. So far in a 1-on-2, Odo's already got a kill. gonna make it to his tower as well. And tower first blood was picked up by Nuclear and H2K. It's a 5,000 gold lead. It's going from bad to hella worse.
I don't think it could go any worse for Splyce. Saddest ulti ever from Senkux as well in the end. Just to kill a few minions while watching the Fiora walk away.
Families, Deficio. You don't have to be so brutal,
I'm not flaming him for using the ulti, but just like, your top laner just died. All you're doing is killing the wave with your ulti, because you can't really do anything else at that point. Like, Odo Amna is hella fed at the moment. His team has already taken bot tower. They're gonna take mid tower, or try at least. They're not gonna get it, Trevor.
Not just yet.
Hey, small win for Splyce. They defended mid tower.
Step away from the death sentence. H2K not done yet. Minion wave slowly being used up. The shockwave comes down, and Kobe says surprises. Mickey jumps into the dissonance. Chain of corruption from Nuclear sets up the double kill for Febivid. Odo Amna is coming in for the flank, and Deficio, you're now made a liar as H2K take down the turret.
They did take it down. Yes, you are correct. They got it in the end.
They're not done yet. 12 kills in 13 minutes. An inner turret will be the third tower, and I feel like Rift Herald will be a juicy target for H2K to help them speed up this lead even further.
At this point, do you really want the old Rift Herald more for your Fiora?
Well, unfortunately, it's a question you will not have answered.
Yeah, you don't get to choose anymore. I'm not sure what Mickey was trying to do in the end, but got punished for it anyway by H2K playing some great League of Legends in this game.
And it just sucks how this game snowballed so quickly from 2 plays.
Hey, remember, I said 0-10, 10-0. We have 5-0 on one side.
You did indeed.
We are on the way.
Yes, you did. That's another ding for Deficio. But it's the nature of these matchups, is it not? For H2K, it's just great. They've taken advantage of a phenomenal early game from Jankos. And it's unfortunate for Splyce that when they unveil a new team composition, a new sort of style with this 7-10 comp, it has backfired. And this is unfortunately one of those things that gets so heavily criticized.
Sure. I think it's worth highlighting that the Lucian mid and the Kali top is not very specific towards 7-10. We had obviously Lucian mid at MSI.
Yes. And Akali top has played on previous patches.
Exactly.
Even here in Europe.
So it is because Splyce are not following just the meta.
Yeah.
But
a few things. As all that thought, we'll come back to the meta discussion. Jankos gonna take the lantern to safety in a moment by Che.
It's just as you said, Trevor, like when you have snowball comp on one side and the jungler dies level 2, suddenly everything starts falling apart because Jankos was just everywhere in the early game. And Splyce's comp got to show his ugly head, not the beautiful one we technically, I guess, wanted to see how Lucian Akali works.
Exactly, and talking about ugly heads, the Rift Herald is being surrounded. Jankos is gonna be jumped on, actually takes a lot of damage. Senkax finds Featherfit, the box goes down. Unfortunately for Splyce, it's Trashy that follows. That's a double for Featherfit. Senkax dashes in, flashes out, dashes back. Chain of corruption locks down Senkax and Kobe. That's another for Jankos and Odo to clean the fights.
4 kills now for H2K. They've already taken 4 towers as well. We are moving towards 10-0 Fiora.
Oh my word. Okay, Wonder fences his chances under the turret. Odo, though, continues to dash, gets the heals from the passive. Grand Challenge still available. Issued, procced. Victor, inhibitors going down as well.
All right, inhib as well, mid lane. H2K are playing some really fun games
yes.
so far. I think overall we can all say it's been a great split for H2K, even though we only, 2 games in.
Well, you're not wrong.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
I mean, it's just another fight where you're like, what, 7K gold ahead at this point? Every member on H2K right now is outplaying Splyce.
Somebody needs to turn that into a black and white image. So far, it's been a great split for H2K, In quotes, dash right Deficio. That's
I'll say.
But I am actually quite hopeful and quite excited for this split because, we keep going back to the same comps, same teams, same players.
Which is a good thing.
Not living up to their potential in spring. They made top 6. Clearly deserve to be in top 6.
Yep.
Stuck with the same investment, same team, same players. And now we need to see where they go. How far can they rise? You've got some support staff changes. You've got some pick and ban changes for Splyce that we only saw in maybe less serious games.
Sure.
This time trying it out, trying their hand, and there's potential here for both of these squads.
Yeah, Odamne is 2 levels up on Wonder. He's looking for another play, but Trashy's around, so Wonder's trying to bait the 1v1 fight. I really want to add on to your point, but I'm kind of feeling a fight is happening, so I'm going to wait.
I'm not sure if that's a fight. Odoamne is just trying to stop
Nice
Wonder.
block, oh my god.
Shuts down Trashy instead. Trashy, what goes up must come down and get squashed. So please continue with the point.
Right, so this is kind of going to be the split. Never mind, there's a fight.
Deficio, you're not allowed to talk. Zenkax is trying to take one down onto Nuclear. Che, however, Death Sentence needs to be wound up. In the background, Jankos helps with the collateral damage. The Flay pulls Mickey back. Here comes Jankos. He tags Copy with the end of the line. Mickey's bouncing around. Unbreakable. Kept him alive for a while longer. Che is able to escape, as is Jankos. Now Che, Death Sentence under the tower.
And Rift Arrow.
Featherfin 5-0-6. The Deficio prediction of 10-0 Fiora. Odoamne, you're running out of time to meet it.
Well, still some Nexus turrets alive and a few inhibs. They need to kill Rift Hell here. Finally joining the game. Kind of late, but decided to smack 50% of that tower.
Oh my
That was
word.
a dead Elise. And Wonder is trying to get 1 kill for himself.
Well, he'll get himself one.
Ruining the 0-10 prediction, but we're just pretty far away from that. I was trying to say, Trevor, this is going to be the split that kind of confirms for Splyce and H2K if the roster they've kept now is the correct one.
Yeah.
Going, towards future seasons.
Odoamne, you're going to ruin our prediction.
He ruined it. And didn't have to do it.
Now you've made Deficio a liar. That's on him. That's on him. 8-1-1.
Still kind of counts because KDA, will still be...
Oh yeah, it's only 1 death.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he needs to give him another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides, 10-0, 10-1.
I'm down, I'll support that.
What's the difference? 10-1. We got 10-1 this time.
Okay.
The riposte right there, oh my god, that was perfect from him.
Top notch.
Top notch from Odamne. Odamne, a man who was unhappy that he didn't get top lane after last split, the all-pro team.
Yeah. I mean, Odo in a good split.
It wasn't actually even Jankos who killed him, it was Che.
Che got the kill. I didn't actually see if collateral damage even tagged him. Che's just playing very well again. But I mean, all of H2K are playing well. Like, what do you think? Deficio, you know what? I'm really disappointed in H2K though. They didn't break the record for the earliest inhibitor. The opportunity was there. The opportunity was there. Do you know what the earliest inhibitor is?
I'm going to say about 16 minutes.
Ooh, so close. Seconds? Can you take a chance on seconds?
16 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, no. Unfortunately, you are wrong. It's 21. But good shots on 16.
What is that seconds? Oh, 21 seconds.
Yes.
I thought it was 21 minutes. I was like,
no, you fool. 16 minutes, 21 seconds. Keep up.
Yeah, okay.
As Featherfin takes down the top lane inhibitor turret, gets a flash from Mickey. Odoamne, ooh, he's starting to feed this time around.
He ruined it all.
Goes down to Wonder. Now you're completely wrong.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
10 and 2 doesn't get. Now he needs to go 20 and 2. Right? That's the only way to make this valid. The inhibitor does drop at 20 minutes and 30 seconds. And
I remember what we said in the last game, Trev, how these physical damage bruisers here, almost no matter what they buy, it just looks great. Like this dance here buffed on this patch, 30% reduction now, or well, reduction upfront reduction that then becomes like the damage over time after, a bit more AD on it as well. That item is busted at the moment. You're gonna see it so much in these different boosters, even on the Lucian.
Yep, it was picked up by Graves in the previous game as well. This time Jankos got Phantom Dancer. And of course that reduction in damage, the 30% up front, allows Odo to pop some more vitals, maybe get the challenge completed and just regen all of the damage he took.
Yep.
H2K, they decide to re-engage. This isn't really a fair fight. 13,000 gold in the lead. The second inhibitor falls. And this is a convincing victory for H2K.
Still a point.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time thinking of it, crafting it.
You had a few producers in your ear being
I
like,
did.
Trev, I think you should probably say this is a
Stats team were just like, that is, we got another one. Production's telling me this is an exceptional game from H2K. Thank you, production. We're running out of ways to talk about it. And Shockwave goes down. Oh, Jankos steals that 1 hour.
Yeah, very true. I think he deserves it.
I mean, he earned this game.
And now you have to also remember, Trevor, that Fantasy LCS was changed a bit for some split now, where European players, if they only play one series per week, they get double the points.
Yep.
So for whoever at home stacked H2K players, congratulations on winning week 1.
I'm so screwed because I have Wonder as a top laner.
Yeah, that's not going to be great for you. But if you had Orane on the other hand...
I'm being dunked in Fantasy this week. I'm also playing against Vedius, so it's not going well so far.
He stacked Misfits players,
He
right?
did indeed. Misfits will be playing later today. We'll see how well they perform.
Should probably not be as one-sided as this game here. I have a lot of hopes in Fnatic.
And it's also it's so interesting because game 1 was really so close. But the team comps allowed for that in many ways. You know, they're
and
not as snowbally.
And then H2K obviously had some early mistakes where they got punished, and then suddenly turned around and had H2K with much better team fights than Splyce, and then they went in their favor. And yeah, it was like actually a few kills here and there.
And we're going to go back to this narrative we tried to talk about, Deficio. For both of these teams, the question will be answered in summer. Was the right call sticking with these players? How good can they get? Because there's a lot of the same players in EU LCS. Mickey's trying one last attempt. Jankos gets tagged up. He's able to dash to safety. But look at that death sentence. Catches onto Senka. Shockwave comes out. That's 2 already for Febiven. It's a double-double as Nuclear picks up the triple to close it out.
It's been 2 games now where Febiven in these team fights have looked fantastic. Victor in the first one, Oriana now in the other one. But really all of H2K looked so good in this second game.
H2K obliterates Splyce.
You could not ask for a better start if you're H2K, and you could not have asked for a worse start if you're Splyce.
Yep.
Like, these 2 teams are in the same group again. And this time around, there is a Vitality lineup as well that is buffed up a little bit with some roster changes. Like, you're not guaranteed top 3. Like, it basically was last split. Where Splyce, H2K, and Unicorns were the 3 guys who's taking that top 3 instantly.
2 things we have to talk about to fish shows. We see the player cams on screen. Splyce shell-shocked, shaking their heads as the game ended. And Jankos, it's a little bit of a high-five tap on the shoulder by Prolly. I think he deserves that one.
I think he tried to talk to us right after. Didn't really hear what he had to say.
Tried to.
You were prepared for like 4 weeks for this first game right now. Crowd coming down as well.
Yeah, we've actually...
late.
No, we've turned the stage around in the venue and the crowd is still learning where they can walk up. Really cool to see the support here for H2K, especially after what was just, I mean, a destruction.
They dumpstered Splyce in the second game. And as I just said, you know, you spent all of MSI, all of the off-season, getting ready for week 1 of the EU LCS. And one team is going to leave week 1 of the EU LCS being extremely happy because they just dominated Splyce. And the other team obviously is going to be like questioning a lot of things already from 1B to 3. Obviously, we don't want to assume too many things, but this was very one-sided.
Deficio, H2K are having a fantastic split. And so far, they are 6-0 over Splyce in 2017. H2K, they're off to a great start with a convincing win against Splyce. So, Shocks, tell us more about Game 2.
To say it. Let's talk about H2K and the fact that in game 1 we said, oh hey, their team play was good. Once they had the steering wheel, they could drive it home. And you guys said, well, I would. And I still hear Trevor being amused about this match because it was very convincing. We wanted to see some more cleanliness out of the individual moves from H2K, and damn, did they show us that here.
Yeah, this is pretty much the opposite of game 1, where Jankos, he is able to not only pick up the first kill of the game, but then go and transition that even further. So aggressively moving into the jungle, trying to punish Trashy for his early game, and does it fantastically. First kill goes through, he moves to the mid lane where Sankux is trying to utilize some of the strengths of this Lucian to push forward, but remember, his jungler is dead. Shay with a beautiful roam up from the bottom lane. They're able to capitalize on Sankux, who was moved too far up in lane, tries to go for the outplay himself. Jankos with the easy job of the last hit on the lane, and then it's down to the bottom lane, as if there's anywhere else Jankos thinks he's gonna go. Third kill before even recalling. everything gets in favor of H2K.
Yeah, it was like Yanko said, oh, you guys didn't feel like I was playing well enough. Well, this is what happens when an invade goes as planned. He didn't get the small wolf, so perhaps not quite according to plan, but he does end up getting a good couple of kills all across the map to set up H2K for a fantastic early game. And what we saw was H2K know exactly how to use a lead in order to close out these games. So it's nice to see that they know how to play from behind and rally themselves back up in the mid game. And if they get themselves an early advantage, they know how to crush their opponent.
That they do. And let's speak about the top lane, because we said at the beginning of the day, the thing about this update and the patch is that there is so much possible diversity. However, an Akali pick is not something that I had foreseen, at least, versus the Fiora. So break down the matchup to me and break down how it influences the game.
So I want to start off by saying that we actually saw some Akali from Kikis during the Challenger Series, often regularly picked into tanks. The risk that you have is picking it blind is she is an assassin. There are rooms for counters. Now, the thing about it is that a Fiora is not the natural counter. It becomes a big skill matchup, because one of the things for Fiora is when she riposts, you have to pick the key ability that you want to try and avoid. And for Akali, that is often her Q. That is where a lot of her burst damage comes from, and that is where the thing that you really need to mitigate. So let's jump straight into the 1v1 that we often saw, that we saw between these two players, because what I want you to keep track of is how often Odoamne is riposting either the first half or the second half of the Q coming out from Wunder, because that is the main damage dealing component of Wunder's trades. And you can see there once again, a lot of the burst ends up going in favor of Odo, and he's always making sure to hit these vitals as often as possible. And when we get to this final part of the 1 versus 1, at this point Wunder is using his passive to heal up, and he feels confident. But that was the final tick of his ultimate. And Odo knew that if he was able to successfully riposte that ulti, that would have resulted in the 1v1 win, therefore successfully getting the outplay on his opponent.
And the huddle, because that was basically it. It was over. H2K won 2-0 so far, and a 4-0 they already had over Splyce in the spring split. So if you take a look back, what are we taking away from the series from H2K?
That H2K are very solid when it comes to their team play, and still obviously have the ability to do it individually. I mean, game 1, it looked a little bit slow, maybe nerves on the first game. A lot of teams say that it takes them a little bit of a warm-up back into the swing of things coming off a break. So interesting to see that their strategy is on point, because when H2K have had strategy that is good, that is when they've always been fighting towards the top half of the group. They've always looked solid when their coaching is on point.
And what I like is it seems that H2K seem to have a very firm grasp on the meta right now. They seem to know what's very good. The fact that Che is immediately going for these thresh picks, like for so long we saw the Karma and the Lulu, and every so often we'd see a Zyra out here, but with the introduction of the Doran's shield, that has changed a lot of how the bottom lane matchups go. And not only are they picking up these new picks, but they're playing fantastically on them, because I think that Che had a fantastic series overall.
And that makes him
the player of the series.
Yeah.
Which is a great accomplishment in the first game of the split, because we had pinned Nuclear and Che as this defensive duo that was playing Ezreal and Karma. And that was kind of where we were saying, okay, they look great, but H2K, it's a reactive playstyle that later into the game, well, with the Thresh, they have the ability to exploit weaknesses and mistakes from their opponents. And we saw that time and time again in this series. His Thresh was on point.
That it was. We are setting up for an interview with one of the H2K players, and I do want to take that last minute then to talk about Splyce. What does it tell you guys that the new coach is coming in? They've made some changes, and obviously there's trust there, but it says, hey, we lost game 1. You can pick your Akali. We're going to pick the Twitch, and we're going to try something vastly different. What does that tell you about kind of the approach they're taking, or can we not take too much away from that?
The thing for me is I feel that we didn't actually get to see very much of these individual creative picks, simply because of how awful the early game ended up going for Splyce. So I don't think they should let this deter them. I don't think this should put their spirits down, because Jankos did have a great early game, and I think that prevented a lot of the success of Splyce. So I think that I'd like to continue seeing creativity. I think that they are a team that can thrive in that sort of environment. And we saw last split, when players like Trash in particular get those comfort picks, that's when they have the best performances.
And I think for Splyce fans, you've got to keep in mind, anytime you make a coaching change or a staffing change, it can take a while to filter in onto the Rift. And you saw in game 1, Splyce composed. Game 2, they saw a Fiora that was already getting fed. They were like, let's take as many fights, try and get anything they can, and it just didn't work for them. But long term, I think this should be a benefit for Splyce.
Right, we will see how that evolves. But for more on H2K's victory, let's go over to Dracos, who is ready with their jungler. Ooh.